my camera just stopped recording out of nowhere. So I guess my camera, or I don't know what, didn't record the first story because like halfway through the video I changed SIM cards because there wasn't storage on the first one anymore. So I changed SIM cards so I can get storage, but I guess it didn't record the first story. So you guys don't get to hear story number 1 because it only recorded half of the story. But you guys will hear story number 2 and story number 3. Sorry about that, gals and gents or whatever. Yeah, so that's why I say story number 2 when it's story number 1. Okay, sorry. Story number 2. My first period. I know, everyone loves this topic. So I got my first period when I was in school. I got it 7th grade. Yeah. So it wasn't like not a normal thing. Like girls already had their period, but I didn't. Okay, I was a late bloomer. Well, not actually, I was like kind of like a regular bloomer, I guess. But okay, so I got it when I was in 7th grade, and I remember I was a 7th grader. I was in middle school, and it was a rainy day, just like this one. It was a little gloomy, temperature was a little chilly, forecast was buckle the fuck up. That's what the forecast told me, but I didn't listen. So, of course, I didn't have my period. I didn't have anything to like help me if I got my period, you know? So I remember I was, I think, in my 6th period class, so it was almost towards the end of the day. I only had one more class, so then I could go home. And I just remember I was sitting, and it was in my English class. I remember this so freaking vividly. So vividly. I was in my 7th grade class, and I used to sit, it was my English class, I used to sit kind of towards the back of the class, but I was like, our class was like set up like a bunch of rows like this, and I was on the 4th row, second to the last one. So I remember I was just sitting there, and like my stomach was hurting really bad the whole day, and it wasn't like a regular hurt. So I remember I kept texting my mom. I was like, you need to come get me, like something is not right in my stomach. And my mom was like, no, like I'm not gonna go pick you up from school because your freaking tummy hurts. Like I'm not gonna do that. So I was like, okay, whatever, I'll just suck it up. And then so I remember I was sitting in my class, and I was like in pain the whole time, so I wasn't even paying attention. I was just like, I can't wait to freaking go home. And then all of a sudden I remember, like, because we were watching, like, we were learning about the Holocaust, and like we were watching this movie about swingers, and you know, like swingers, the kind of dancers, like, you know, so I remember like we had to go up, and like once the movie was over, we had to like prove that we were paying attention to the movie, I guess. So we had to write like a fact about the movie on the board. So I went up, and I remember as soon as I got up, like, you know that feeling when you're on your period and like you feel it come out, personal TMI, but you feel it like coming out, like you know you're on your period. But I didn't know this feeling. So I was like, did I just pee myself? I literally was like, as soon as I got up, like I felt it, and like I looked, like I like stood there and I looked at the ground. I was like, did I just pee myself? But I was like, no, there's no way I just fucking peed myself. So I remember I like kind of patted myself, like trying to discreetly pat my butt. And I was like, no, like I didn't just pee myself. I was like, okay, weird. So then I continued to do what I was doing, and like I wrote my fact on the board or whatever. And then I went to sit down, and then I kept feeling like, you know, like if you like pee yourself, like it feels wet, or like when you're on your period, like you know you're like kind of like sitting on your blood. I don't know, that's freaking gross. But you know what I mean. So like I remember I sat there, and I was like writing on my paper. I was like, I think I just peed myself. And then I used to have this best friend, and I had texted her, and then I was like, and like we were like super close. So I texted her. I was like, hey, like either I just freaking pissed my pants or I just got my period. And then she was like, okay, well, like meet me by the lockers after. And my English class was right in front of the locker, so it wasn't like a far distance. And I remember I just got up, and then this guy, he was really nice. Like he never made it awkward after this. I got up, and he sat behind me, and I got up, and he was like, hey, he's like, this is gonna sound really weird. And I was like, okay. And I was like, I was like, is he gonna tell me he likes me? Like what? But he like looked at me and he was like, he's like, I think you got your period because like your butt is stained. And like I looked at him and like I was like, oh thanks. And I grabbed my bag and like I zoomed out of that class. Like, and my bag would cover my butt, so like after that no one could see it, but he saw it because he sat behind me, you know. And like, oh my god, it's just so embarrassing. Okay, so like I like zoomed out and my best friend was already waiting there for me. I was like, I just got my period. Like the guy literally behind me just told me that I am stained, and she was like, she like looked behind me, she's like, yeah, like it's fresh, like you just, this just happened, so you like weren't walking around all day like this, you know, which is good. And then so like she helped me out or whatever, and I had to go to the nurse's office because my pants were stained, and I had to freaking change into my PE shorts the entire day. And like people know, like girls, like, or like some guys, like they know what is going on when you're wearing your PE clothes. Like you either shit yourself, you peed yourself, or you got your period. So everyone knew what happened to me. I didn't even have to say it. Like I walked into my 7th period class and like everyone was just like, yikes, you know, like that kind of. Good thing it was like towards the end of the day. But then the next day, like the guy was so nice to me, and I remember I went to him, I was like, hey, like thanks, like that was like my first time, you know, getting my period. And he's like, yeah, he's like, don't worry, he's like, I have sisters, so like I know, you know, which was embarrassing for me like eternally, but he was so nice about it. Like if you're watching this and you know who you are, I appreciate you. He was so nice. But that was my period story. Okay, story number 3. So this story takes place, I want to say I was maybe in 3rd grade or second. No, I want to say first. I was in 1st grade. So my old elementary school, when I was in kindergarten and 1st grade, it was getting like remodeled, so we had to go to this different school, which was not far from where I lived, but it was like, that school is always used for like when other schools are getting remodeled, you know what I mean? So we were at this school and like I would have to take the bus there every day, whatever. I remember I had been feeling like shit all day. I was like not having it today, like something in my stomach was just feeling really bad, and then it was time for lunch. And I was with my friend. It was time for lunch and I was with my friend. And so I was like, you know what, I don't really want to eat this food because I feel like it's gonna make me throw up, but I'm really hungry, so I was like, I'm just gonna eat it, you know. And you know, school lunch isn't like a 5-course meal, but like you eat it because you're hungry, you know what I mean? So I ate it. I fucking ate it. And then that, my friends, is where I fucked up. That is where everything just went downhill for me. Okay, so we go back to class and we're walking to the library. Okay, and it's like all the classes, like all the 1st grade classes were like going to the library. I don't know for what. I think we were having like an earthquake drill, or maybe I'm lying, maybe it was Dr. Seuss's birthday, I don't know what it was, but we all had to go to the library, and like every class was like in their own group, but everyone was listening to this one person speak, you know what I mean? So I'm going to the library, we're walking to the library, and on my way to the library I was like telling my best friend, I was like, hey, like I'm not feeling good. I was like, something is I don't feel good. And she's like, well then tell the nurse, or like tell the teacher, you know. But me being the shy girl that I am, I was scared to tell the teacher that I didn't feel good because I didn't want to be a fucking inconvenient bitch, you know. So I didn't tell her. So I sat down the whole time so we get to the library and we're all sitting there. So it's the entire 1st grade class. Like every single 1st grade teacher and their students were there. So I remember we were sitting there, like we were sitting crisscross applesauce, and this one lady was speaking. I don't even remember what we were talking about, but it was important, I guess, because we all had to take the time out of our day to go and listen to this girl speak. So I'm sitting down there and I remember I'm just looking at my friend. I was like, I am not feeling good. And she was like, it's okay, like we're almost done, like just after this, like you can go to the restroom or whatever. I was like, okay, cool, like whatever, I'm just gonna hold it. And I remember looking, like it all just happened so fast, like I didn't even know what to do. I felt this throw up come up my throat. I literally felt it come up, and instead of because I was so freaking embarrassed about this. I didn't want the throw up to come out like this, or like, because there was people sitting right in front of me. Like, if I turned, there was someone there. If I turned, there was someone there. Like, there was someone around me the whole time. So I felt my throw up come up, and I felt my throw up come up, and I like caught it like in my mouth. Like, it was in my mouth, and I was like this. I was like that the whole time, holding my throw up in my mouth. And I looked at my best friend, and I'm pointing at my mouth. I'm like, and she was like, what? And I'm holding it like this. I'm like pointing at my mouth, telling her like, I just threw up. And she kind of got it after a while. She's like, oh, you just threw up. And she was like, well, get up. And I was like, and I was like frozen on the ground. I was like, no, like, people are gonna know I'm holding my throw up. And in that moment, I was like, I should have just freaking threw up on this girl. Like, I should have just thrown up on the girl in front of me. And like, it would have been over with, you know? But like, I was holding my throw up, and like, she was like, get up. Like, I'll tell the teacher like that you have to go. And I was like, no. And we're in first grade. We're not allowed to even get up without asking, you know? So I'm like there the whole time. I was like, no. So I didn't get up. I waited for this girl to finish her lecture. It wasn't that long. It was maybe like another 7 minutes. But I'm holding my throw up in my mouth the whole time that this girl is talking. And after she finishes her lecture and everyone gets up, my best friend goes to the teacher and goes, and well, we both go, but like, I can't talk, obviously, I have throw up in my mouth. And she goes to the teacher and she's like, she just threw up, and she has it in her mouth. And everyone in my class heard that I was holding my throw up in my mouth while this girl was talking. So my teacher had another teacher watch our class while she went with me to the restroom to finally release my throw up. And I feel like my teacher was like, what the fuck? Why didn't you just let go of your throat? Why didn't you get up 10 minutes ago? And honestly, I was asking myself the same question, but I held my throw up in my mouth because I didn't want to interrupt this awesome lady. I didn't want to interrupt her. I didn't. She was on a roll. I was feeling it. I was honestly feeling it. I didn't want to interrupt her. So I held my throw up in my mouth for 10 minutes. And everyone else knew that I held my throw up because my best friend said it in front of everyone. So everyone was looking at me with my mouth like this, holding my throw up. Yeah. And I just went to the restroom after, and I threw up, and my mom came to pick me up because I was emotionally scarred and I didn't want to go back to school. Yeah, and that is pretty much the stories that I have for you guys today. I have a lot more where that came from because I was just an awkward child. I still am, but like I like found a way to hide it better, you know what I mean? But I'm still freaking awkward. But if you like this, give it a thumbs up to let me know you liked it, and maybe I'll make like a part 2 or something. But yeah, that's pretty much it. All I have for you guys today. I hope you liked it. Give it a thumbs up, subscribe. Yeah, that's pretty much it. Comment on an embarrassing story of yours. I need a burp. Comment like any embarrassing stories of you, because like I like to know that I'm not the only freaking weirdo out there, you know? So yeah, comment to make me feel better. Hey, thank you guys for watching. Peace and love. Peace and love.